Hi, welcome back to the Natural Healing Ninjas with Christine and Laura Lee at the camera. Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Today we're interviewing this, she's so beautiful, this beautiful massage therapist, yoga teacher, all around music, sound. You've done so many beautiful things for healing work in your life. And I was really interested in finding out where it all began first, and then what is it about these different modalities that interests you and that can help the people that you work with or work on. Where did it start? Very beginning. Massage? Did it start with massage?
I think it started with learning about the body through my own pain.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it started. So I think what happened when I was 7 years old, I was run over by my mom's car.
This is Joanna, by the way.
Oh,
I hope I said her
everybody.
name. Joanna Bobbitt.
I was run over when I was 7, and so I always had some understanding of pain in my body.
Yeah.
And so when I started going to school, when you were able to take anatomy, I really was interested in anatomy. I didn't quite remember why or know why I was interested in anatomy, but I was super fascinated by how the body worked, the bones and muscles and the nerves and all the things. And so I just kind of dove into any science class or any anatomy class I could take about the body. And so that was kind of my thing, and I was really into it. And so then when I got older, my mom would always, stick her foot in my lap and want me to massage her foot all the time. And she's like, "You're really good at this," And so my mom was always encouraging me to massage her,
Yeah,
of course. And so I would massage my mom, and she'd want her shoulders massaged, and then my sister got in on it, and I just kind of got encouraged through working on my friends and family. And then I was called the wise one when I was a kid by my friends.
You still are,
They always needed help with their mom relationships or boyfriend relationships, and somehow I knew stuff, and I have no idea. I just was born that way, I guess. And so I just started massaging anyone I could, and then I started going and donating my body to different massage schools. And literally you can just kind of show up at one and say, back then at least, "Do you need any extra bodies to work on?" And so literally I went to a few different places and worked on people's bodies. Yeah.
Wow.
And then different friends that were getting going through the school, different schools, then I would also always say, "I want to be a part of that. I want to, I'll be a body for you. You can practice on me." And then I would ask them tons of questions while I was getting massaged. So I was learning all the time, and I was a sponge for anything about the body. And so I just kept learning and learning and learning and donating my body wherever I could. And then I started working up at Esalen.
Did you learn at Esalen, or you just
I
worked?
did. I kept learning at Esalen because all the people that I was working at Esalen, because my daughter went to preschool there, and all these people were going through the massage for the whole 5 years I was there. There was people going through the massage school all the time.
What is Esalen, if you don't know?
Esalen is a retreat center which used to be the Esalen Indians' land, and the natural hot waters that come up from there, the sulfur springs. So it's all based around their sulfur springs and everything.
And they have seminars and
seminars,
schools
massage
there.
school there.
It's in Big Sur.
Yeah, it's in Big Sur, and there's a work trade there. And so I was kind of doing a work trade. I would work in the kitchen, I would work in wherever they needed me, in the cabins, in the laundry, and my daughter got to go to preschool there, and we got to stay there and have a meal and also use the hot tubs. And so all these people were going through massage school that worked there and lived there and were doing work trade, and I made friends with all of them.
Wow.
And so I just was like, "Here, I'll be one of your people." And
But you
so
actually didn't go to school there, you just
No.
learned on your own.
I did. I learned.
Wow.
I'm one of the rare people that is technically not certified in massage, and I just learned through my life and kind of got grandfathered into the county. And when you opened your shop, your place was the very first place that I did actual massage out in public.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was the first place that I actually was starting my business, was at your shop.
Wow.
I know. I
had
didn't think
no
you
idea.
remembered that.
No.
So I don't know how many years ago that was, but it was about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
What was the name of your
So-
shop again?
Seven Sisters Mystical Emporium.
Very
In
cool.
Cambria.
And
Yeah.
it had a healing room, it had a reading room, it had a music area.
And you had
books,
little workshops there.
workshops,
And you had music and poetry and
Yeah.
art and crystals.
Classes.
It was the place to
Food
be.
fairies and
And I massaged people in our town. And
Wow.
then I started teaching yoga even before that. And that's how
yes.
we met.
And you taught. Where did you start yoga?
Up at Esalen. So I was
You
teaching.
learned-
Yeah, I knew about yoga and I was taking it before I went to Esalen. But when I was up at Esalen, the guy that was the main yoga teacher, he wanted me to fill in for him because he was going to go away and get more training for a month. So he taught me how to teach his class, and so I taught his class.
Wow,
And I was
you just
teaching.
fell into everything.
I did. I was teaching all the teachers up at Esalen and all the massage crew up at Esalen, and
Wow.
I was scared to death, and I didn't even know what I was doing yet, and I just kept doing it and kept doing it, and I made notes and I listened, and I knew bodies, so I already could tell where people needed help.
Yeah.
And then my yoga students started becoming my massage clients because I could see in yoga what their bodies needed. And then when
You
they
still
came
do
to
that?
me, yeah, I still do that. And so when I come to give them a massage, I already know where they're limited, and also I talk to them about it
Yeah.
and intuitively go in there. Yeah.
Didn't you at one time go back east and learn some
Yeah,
type of yoga?
I did get certified in yoga.
What was the
At the
name of-
Kripalu Institute for Yoga and Health.
Yeah.
And I took more anatomy there. So I was already like massively into anatomy. So we had a month-long intensive. And I took,
You and Laura Lee
yeah.
can talk about anatomy. She
Yeah.
knows a
I
lot
love
too.
anatomy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
me
love
too.
it.
It
Yeah, so it was
fascinates
just so
me.
fun. And it works with yoga and massage so well. And
Yeah.
everything that I do, sound is another part of it. And it's just all, yeah.
So, what is the biggest, most exciting thing you've learned, or that you're finding out, or that you, when you work with people, that has helped you grow in different ways, like spiritually or emotionally or physically?
I think the most important thing to me that I've learned when I work on people is that it's to create a safe space for expressing and getting out of our tissues all the emotions that we've stored in there.
Yes, of course.
So I think that that's the most important thing about the work that I do on every level in the yoga classes and in massages, is to guide people back to who they are and make a safe space for them to let go of all the things that they've been holding on to.
Have a lot of clients express that emotions in
You know,
your
they don't know they're doing it necessarily.
Oh, really?
But I'm just working on their bodies in a really deep way. And then we'll just, they might ask me a question, or it might bring up, when you start working on the tissues, if there's stored energy and emotion in there, it'll start coming out. And
Yeah.
They may cry or they may speak, and then we'll go into this deep, cathartic, almost counseling session along with it.
Wow.
So it ends up being a really deep work, not just that you're working on the body, but you're working on the soul and the whole lifetime, and maybe more than one lifetime.
Wow, that's so exciting to
So
hear.
I think that's the most powerful thing I've learned, is that this work that we're all doing, all of us, is so much deeper than just what we're called, a massage therapist or a yoga teacher.
Right.
We're doing so much deeper work.
It's deep medicine, and medicine means to help.
Yeah.
That's what medicine is all about, is to help. It's deep medicine. Like the Native Americans would hold their medicine bags, because it's helping them. It brings them into focus. It brings them, joy or emotions that they didn't know that they had, and it protects them as well.
Absolutely.
So,
I think it's made me way more intuitive too, and I think that's made me grow as a spiritual being. Is that I'm way more tuned into people and their needs, and learning about myself through it all too.
Yeah.
Making sure I take care of me.
well, you're
as well.
really good at taking care of you and other people. You're always doing that with friends and family, with, partners. You're always, and the cooking that you do. She has amazing meals that she makes that are, we've gone through so many years of comparing things that you've
Yeah.
made such wonderful meals as well. And you have a way of understanding what helps you and what doesn't. It's detrimental to your health.
Yeah.
And you've come up with a beautiful, rounded way of living, because that's who you are, of deep trust. Of course, you've learned that trust within yourself, and you expand that out to everyone, like in yoga class as well. Everyone gets a huge energetic shift when we go into yoga class because of you, because you bring forth all these wonderful ideas and expressions that we wouldn't have ever thought of, and expressions of our body too. You know, sometimes it's hard, sometimes and however, after I'm finished, I said, wow, I guess I needed that. Because I know when you're intuitively going into something, I go, okay, here she goes. Okay, we're going to get it now, you know. But afterwards, your body feels so much better, and you know these things intuitively, since I've known
And
you.
you've known me for a really long time. And you've been coming to my class for the whole time I've been teaching here.
Yeah, it was a 28. 28?
Yeah.
Holy dooly.
28 years.
Yeah, and so we've seen our kids grow up, and you know, we've come into a different part of our lives. What do you see your part of your life right now? How do you see that? Do you feel like you're going to be going on with this, or do you see something changing within your life?
I think where I'm headed more is guiding and teaching more. You know, not necessarily only yoga, but in life, spiritual, inward journey, life skills. I don't like that word, life skills. Not really like that, but just really all the knowledge that I have and the intuition that I have is now, and where my heart lies is to really assist people in learning everything I've learned, you know, passing it on.
Yes,
You know, passing the torch and helping people learn how to listen to their body and how to eat properly for them. Because that's a big thing to learn. I remember when I was vegan and I thought everybody should be vegan. I definitely don't think that anymore. And just to help people learn to listen to their body. And that's what my whole life is about, is teaching people about
to share
their
that.
body.
And that's what we're about here at Natural Healing Ninjas, because we want to
I love
share.
the name, by the way.
We're out there
It's a great
ninjaing.
name.
We
Yeah.
want people to learn what we've gone through and how we've healed ourselves. And we're not doctors, we're not nurses, we're not in the medical field. However, we've had life experiences just like yourself.
Yeah.
So to share that is a huge resource, because you have so much understanding of the human body, of the emotions, of the mind, because you can see how people are doing when you look at them in the class. I'm watching you. And I think that it's come to a point. I have to say this though, she's had seminars and workshops, play shops, or whatever you want to call them. Wonderful ways of getting to know yourself. She has these gatherings, and the last one was a sound gathering. Tell us about that. Tell us about your
Yeah, we're calling it the sound experience.
The sound
And
experience.
Basically, it's frequency healing, although I don't love that word, frequency medicine, if you want to use that word, which I like. And, you know, we've been bombarded by all kinds of negative frequencies through, you know, all the Wi-Fi and all the televisions, all the screens since we were little, you know.
Yeah.
And it's pretty harsh on the system energetically, and the nervous system especially is really affected by that. And so to counterbalance all the negative energetics that have gone on, the sound healing with the instruments that bring the hertz that are really healthy for the body and help balance the body is our jam. You know, we're just bringing that to people, and they can just lay and relax and receive for the most part.
What
And
kind
it's
of
just
instruments? What
oh
kind
wow,
of sounds?
so many instruments.
Let's go down the list.
Giant gongs that aren't just for hitting, but you drag. Darcy's husband Neil has this giant gong, and you drag the mallet, and it can make whale sounds. It is so rad. So whale sounds are happening, and Darcy and I both have these things called theta drums, where it's 2 different drum heads, and there's these different crystal balls and tinier metal balls that make the wave sound, as you've experienced in class, and you just keep them rolling in a certain way, and you can make louder waves or quieter waves in the ocean. It's amazing. And then Don, my boyfriend, and I both play the Native American flute. He has a bunch of different flutes, and I play the flute, he plays the flute, and then I have my hoop drum.
Yeah.
And so you've had that experience.
Yeah.
So we'll go around and do the hoop drum over the people's bodies, which is a big hoop drum with a low resonance, so it'll vibrate the body and just kind of rewrite the cells and the DNA and get you back into like this really grounded space. And we're doing it in the teepee, which does not have concrete under it.
Yes.
So you're getting grounding from the earth, which is so key. important. Take your
Yeah.
shoes off, hug a tree, whatever, but this is one way to do it, is through sound.
Wow.
Because it brings us back into the deep resonance that the planets make as they're swirling around in this, what they're now realizing is plasma, not air.
It's plasma. Yeah.
So we are
We all
all
live
in
in plasma.
plasma, and our bodies are plasma, and our air, so all the sound travels fast through that, especially through what we call water, which is also a plasma inside of our body. So when you do sound healing around people or over people, then their waters in their body are getting that receptive thing, and it's traveling really quickly to all the places in the
Sort
body.
of like the rife sounds.
Yeah.
But at a real level, instead of listening to the rife sounds through a machine, you're listening actually on
Yeah.
site with these beautiful sounds.
Yeah, it's really cool when it's live and it's hands-on and people are experiencing it. It can be fairly loud, but that's part of the power of it.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. And some of the people said they had amazing experiences during the class. You want to tell us some of those?
Well, there's been 3 people that I can remember, different people that didn't know each other, that have come up to me throughout my yoga teaching career, who have said that, well, 2 different people that didn't know each other said I had some man in orange robes that was always walking around the classroom with me. So that was kind of a trip.
That gives me the chills.
I know, I got the chills, and I was like, all right, hey buddy, I don't see you, but my friend, some people see you. And then recently at the sound healing, 2 different people, one person thought they heard people walking around the outside of the teepee and inside the teepee, and peeked and opened her eyes, and we were all sitting down at that time, so she felt people were walking around her. And then another one of the women in the sound experience felt like we had laid giant rocks on top of her, one on her heart chakra and one on her solar plexus. And she didn't want to peek because she didn't want to mess anything up. She thought we were going to come back around and take the rocks off, but they stayed on and they never left. It's like she received this gift or something of like some crystals that were put inside of her body. I don't know.
That's amazing.
It was cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So do you feel like this is going to be where you're going to be heading? I know a lot of massage therapists, after a while, their bodies give out because they give so much, you know, with their hands and their bodies and their legs, and you know, is there a point where you're going to say, maybe I'll just go to yoga? Or
Well, I think I'm one of the people that have lasted really long in
Yes,
doing
you
massage,
have.
and there have been times where I've done 6 and 7 a day,
oh wow,
and that's just a lot. And that was so last year my body said no more with that. It said you got to cut your work in half. So I literally I said I can't do any more than 4 a day. So now I'm trying to do 3 a day.
really?
And not 4. I wanted to go below 4, but 4 is my max. If I see that I have to take another person and it could become 5, I'm saying no now. So I really am slowing down. I'm getting myself to a point where I can do a little more self-care, get myself a massage, ride my bike, lay in the sun, play the guitar, the things
And
that
those are fun things that you want to do.
the things that make me feel good. Yeah, I have to take care of myself. So I'm doing less massage, and your thumbs are the thing that give out the most in anything, really, because your thumbs, the fingers have tendons that go all the way up the arm. The thumb only goes from here to here, and so this thumb is not the happiest thumb. So I give it lots of love and lots of, I use all my tools on it and everything.
I think you put wax on it before. I think I saw it. You said you put
I've done
hot wax
I've
on
done
it.
everything you can possibly do.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It doesn't hurt me all the time now, but it's weak. It just doesn't have a lot of strength anymore. So I think I might be able to do massage for at the maximum another 5 years.
Really?
And maybe not even
That's
that
a long time.
I'm even thinking it's going to be lower, more like 3, to be honest.
And so what would you do alternatively?
More guiding, more teaching,
Yeah.
more classroom stuff, more big, large group stuff, more sound healing, all the things like that. And some one-on-one even counseling sessions and dietary assistance and stuff
And you're
like
into
that. But I do like
astrology as well.
Oh yeah, and I do love that. I know. You got me into astrology too.
I did.
So you were always my astrologer. I would call you and go, okay, where's the moon? What's the moon doing? And then I just recently, in the last 4 years, 5 years, when the COVID stuff hit, I got into astrology because there was so much that you couldn't do during that time. You
Yeah.
just could sit around and learn more, you know. So I'm like, I love astrology and tarot and all
And
that.
you're really good at it.
I'm getting better at it.
I
Yeah,
know.
listen to
So that
it.
may be another step for you.
Yeah,
You
I
never know.
I might. I mean, I did take a
Yeah.
course from Meg recently, so
Oh yeah.
I did that whole
that's
astrology
right.
course. So yeah, I'm definitely more in. I'm into it. I don't know. Could be something.
It's funny because when we're in our classes, some of the people say, or one person, some of the people say, how do you know all these things? You know, and I'm just smiling to myself, and because she does. She just does. She knows it.
Well,
You know?
I do, but I have also studied it.
I know, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
It's just
When you're
all
around
I
it so
care
much,
about.
and that's what you care about. You care
Yeah.
about people's healing, people's moving up in their energy fields to raise their vibration. That's what we're about. That's why we're here.
And I've refused to work for other people, so I just do my own thing and do
Yeah.
exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm going to learn what I want to learn, and I'm not going to do. I've worked for people before, but I just realized very quickly in my early, working in restaurants and stuff that I need to work for myself. I want to do what I want to do. I want to learn what I want to do. I want to be a beacon so people can know, oh yeah, you actually can do that. You don't have to do this 9 to 5 stuff. You can do what you actually really want
that's
to do.
That's who you are,
And
yeah.
I have a strong opinion about that, and I want to stand tall and teach people how to stand strong, remember who you are, and move forward in your life and do what you want, do what brings you joy. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
what are
That's
you
we're
doing?
here for. That's what we're here for.
Why
Yeah.
we're here.
And to learn even more.
Yeah.
To learn even more. We're excited about learning more about this.
Mm-hmm.
About getting our message out to everyone so that they can learn and take care of themselves. Because I feel like the medical system is slowly falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be the ones to step up, right, Laureline?
That's exactly right. It's imploding, and someone needs to fill the void.
Fill the
I
void.
agree.
And we've been waiting and we've been preparing, so here we are.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Do you have a